Hello and welcome to the inaugural Lesbian Visibility Week. Of course, not really coming to you in the way that the team had planned. I'm Jane Hill. A warm welcome to my home, and I'm sorry that we are all meeting in this way and that we can't all be together as was planned to share stories and support and advice and to celebrate. But the team at DIVA that came up with the idea of this week, which builds on Lesbian Visibility Day, which takes place every April around the world and has done since 2008, really did still want this to go ahead in some form, and they thought that to do that digitally would certainly be better than nothing, and in these very, very strange times might actually be a help. A very warm welcome to you if you are joining us from lockdown, and I recognise that I am one of the really, really lucky ones during this coronavirus pandemic. I'm a presenter with BBC TV News, so of course I have to go to work. I really can't do the job sitting here. And I'm really lucky in that. It gives my day a structure, it gives me a purpose, and I feel very, very grateful to be in that position. And I'm not on my own. I'm married. I live with my wife, Sarah. She, in fact, is behind the camera right now. I would not be able to do this on my own. And we also have a beautiful dog who is a source of great comfort and joy and really is a real blessing to us every single day. And if you're a dog owner, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But I recognise that really not everyone is in this position in these very, very tricky times. And I've interviewed an awful lot of people over the last few weeks for whom this strange time is very difficult. People worried about their job, about money, about how they're going to homeschool their children. And people who perhaps live somewhere where they don't have any outside space and worry about how they're going to, frankly, maintain their sanity, how they're going to keep fit and healthy, both mentally and physically during these difficult times. So we are particularly grateful, and a big shout out to anyone joining us this week in those very difficult circumstances. And if you're able to carve out a few minutes even to take part in some of what's going on during this Lesbian Visibility Week, I also want to say a very, very big thank you if you work in the health service or in social care. A massive thank you to everyone for everything you are doing. I do have a few friends who work on the front line in the health service, and I know what a very stressful and difficult and exhausting time this is. So I think I can speak for everyone when we say a very warm welcome and a big thank you to anyone who is working in health and social care. Wherever you are, do get involved. The hashtag on Twitter is #ThisIsMe. That is what we are trying to celebrate this week. And if you want to find out more about what's planned, there's also the hashtag Lesbian Visibility Week, and that will tell you a little bit more about what's going on. And so why is it important? Why is it even needed? Well, you might know that DIVA commissioned some research that's been carried out by Kantar, and it's been carried out specifically for this week. And one of the findings of that research really speaks to why we are doing this at all. Because guess what? A very, very high proportion of LGBTQI women feel that gay men are so much more visible in public life than they are. 79% to be specific. Well, I can say this because I'm not on telly right now. No shit, Sherlock. And you might be thinking, well, Jane, I don't need a specific piece of research to tell me that. I could have told you that anecdotally. And that is a fair point. But I think the fact that this research shows this is really, really interesting, because this is giving us hard facts. This is giving us evidence about this. And this is still an issue today in 2020. And that is so striking, I think. My own struggles with coming out are well documented. I won't elaborate on them at any length, but suffice to say that I was into my 30s before I could even start thinking about the fact that I was gay. And I know for a fact that one of the reasons I struggled so much is because I just didn't see gay or bisexual women out there in public life. I just didn't. There was just a handful. Sandy Toksvig, Angela Eagle, Martina Navratilova. That really was about the sum total of it. And what does that mean when that is the situation? It means you feel like an aberration. You think you're the only one, you think you're on your own, and you are not living your life to the best of your abilities, and you're not living authentically. Now, this was, as I say, my early 30s, so that was, I'm afraid, the best part of 20 years ago. And I think if we all sat round and drew up a list of gay or bi women in public life today, it would be a little bit longer. But it wouldn't be that extensive, and we could still all name and think of an awful lot more gay men. And that is what this research is showing. Why is that still the case in 2020? And that means there are gay women, bi women out there who are still not living their true lives. And I know because I meet them, I'm sure you all do too. And there are still women hiding away in all different arenas, whether they're in the corporate world, the world of industry and finance, whether they're in the sporting environment, sometimes even occasionally in arts and entertainment. And you couldn't believe that, but it does still happen. And even sometimes just women who can't deal with it within their own families or their own communities for whatever reason. And what a waste of talent and what a waste of energy. And that is what this week is all about. There is some good news thrown up by the research. It definitely shows that women are starting to come out much younger in life than has been the case for my generation, and that is fantastic. And I hope that speaks to a greater sense of support and confidence than perhaps women of my age and older have had. That's wonderful. The research, though, does also tell us that our trans friends have quite some way to go, and that there's quite a long way before a lot of people in the trans community feel that they are safe and secure in the outside world, and there's a long way to go there. So our work isn't over. I hope you will get something out of this week. Do take a look at that Kantar research if you can. It's not a lengthy document. There's some really, really interesting features and stats in it, and it just makes us all think about how far we've come, but also how far we have to go, and why therefore this week is important. So let's try to speak to each other this week, even though it's only digitally. Try to support each other, raise each other up, and keep a conversation going about lesbian visibility. Let's be proud about who we are and who we love, and remember that hashtag, #ThisIsMe. Enjoy your week.